The following is an overview of the training that will be discussed during this presentation. The first section is an overview of the GHS labeling system. The second section pertains to personal protective equipment, PPE, and the final section pertains to bloodborne pathogen awareness and cleanup. Section 1, GHS Right to Know and Atlantic Cape's HAZCOM plan. First and foremost, what is GHS? GHS is the globally harmonized system for classification and labeling of chemicals. This system is different than the one that is currently in place, and the main reason that we are utilizing this system is that it is international. It transcends boundaries of language as well as the manufacturer biased in developmenting the outdated MSDS sheets, and it also illustrates clear warnings for hazards to your health. As mentioned, the GHS system is an international mandate. The GHS system was developed in part by the United Nations. This is mainly due to the fact that we are currently participating in a global economy and as such need a system that is uniform regardless of country of origin as well as language. The main thing that the GHS system illustrates are the hazards and warnings for those individuals that are going to be utilizing the product. Atlantic Cape's Hazard Communication Program includes the following: Atlantic Cape's HAZCOM plan, Atlantic Cape's Right to Know survey, which is a list of all chemicals and products on each and every campus, as well as the identification of any hazardous substances in each and every product, the GHS labeling system, and the update of labels on all products on all campuses. Safety data sheets, SDS, which are associated with the shipping and delivery of each and every product on campus. Once a chemical has been classified, the hazards must be communicated to the employees. Labels and safety data sheets are the main tools for hazard communication. They identify the hazardous properties of chemicals that may pose a health, physical, or environmental hazard during normal handling or use. The goal of the GHS system is to identify these hazards. If new or alternate products are purchased by a specific department, please inform the compliance department so that we may update our records accordingly so as to most accurately reflect the inventory of each department on the various campuses. Updated SDS sheets may be obtained directly from the manufacturer or distributor upon request. The GHS compliant binders, as well as the corresponding safety data sheets, the Right to Know surveys, and the HAZCOM plan, and in some cases the exposure control plan, are located at various areas on each campus. For Mays Landing, they are located on the second floor of the culinary wing, at the facilities garage in the back of ELOT in the rear office, in the ceramic room hallway outside of each classroom, and in each and every science lab near the podium. In Worthington Atlantic City campus, the sheets are located behind the facilities work area, which is located behind security desk number 2. At the Cape May campus, the sheets are located in the facilities area closest to the loading dock, which is located in the rear hallway near the time clock and bulletin board. If you are unable to access at one of the locations mentioned previously, you are also able to find all SDS sheets on our digital compliance website. The website is a master file for all products on each and every campus and actually includes a search bar to facilitate ease.
When managing chemicals in the workplace, it is important to identify chemical hazards and communicate to workers, consumers, emergency responders, and the public who can be potentially exposed what chemicals are present and/or used, their hazards to human health and the environment, and the means to control those hazards. Each department is responsible for the proper compliance reporting, storage, use, and disposal of products specifically assigned to that department.
Pictograms. There are 9 pictograms utilized in the GHS system. Please review and familiarize yourself with each. Section 2 starts with personal protective equipment, or PPE. PPE is provided to each and every Atlantic Cape Community College employee in accordance with the essential elements associated with the duties for their position. Each department has different personal protective equipment associated with it. However, the equipment will be provided by the school, and any special requirements or accommodations that may be needed to be addressed, you should first contact your supervisor and file a request. Depending on your job duties and requirements, different types of personal protective equipment should be worn. In the event where any objects could strike your head, head protection, with the example of a hard hat, should be worn. Hearing protection should be worn when exposed to high decibel noises for extended period of time, such as in facilities grounds, as well as in chemistry when utilizing the chemical hood or culinary with the exhaust fan. Eye protection is required for the majority of all departments, ranging from science labs to facilities and grounds, and even culinary. Of course, your glasses do not take the place of eye protection. Specific goggles are required. Gloves are required in all departments. If you need any particular accommodations, please document and we will order specifically. Clothing barrier is required in all departments, and this could be an apron or job site specific. The appropriate footwear should also be worn. Steel-toed boots for facilities, and full clothes, covered shoes, no sandals, heels, clogs, slippers in any of the science labs. In addition, all piercings, gauges, etc. should be covered or limited so that they do not cause a potential catch hazard. This goes for all students as well. If you need any additional information regarding the personal protective equipment specific to your job functions, please contact your supervisor or the compliance department. It is the job of the employee to check their personal protective equipment before and after each use. If you are not certain as to where you can find personal protective equipment for your department, you can contact your supervisor as well as access to the hazard assessment plan. Additionally, you should know where all personal protective equipment is stored for your department. Make it easily accessible and readily available. Alert any supervisor if any personal protective equipment needs repair or restocking. Use your better judgment when utilizing personal protective equipment. It is always better to be safe than sorry. If you are looking for additional information, always consult the safety data sheet or contact your supervisor or the hazard assessment plan.
In Section 3, Bloodborne Pathogens, we'll go over what to do in the event of a biohazard spill. First, you should review the emergency guides that are located throughout the campuses. You'll find them hanging on the walls, and they're the red and white flip charts. You should also review the Atlantic Cape Exposure Control Plan. In the event of a spill, immediately call security. Also, consult with the compliance officer, Mary Simpson, who can be reached at 609-343-5112. For any biohazard cleanup, first call security unless you have been assigned the cleanup tasks by your supervisor. No employee should clean up body secretions without proper training. Only designated personnel can perform cleanup. When the cleanup is complete, file a report with the compliance office as explained later in this presentation. Biohazard cans and sharps containers are located on all 3 campuses. In the Mays Landing campus, it's in room H114. At the Worthington Atlantic City campus, it's in the HPI equipment room, and in the Cape May campus, it's in the custodial closet. If you need any more information, contact your supervisor or the compliance office.
In order to prevent exposure, it is necessary that all employees follow the same protocol. When handling blood or bodily fluids during cleanup, all employees should utilize personal protective equipment and practice universal precautions. A college-issued cleanup kit should always be utilized. However, in the event where one is not available, you can utilize a 10% bleach to water solution for cleanup. Each department provides Easy Cleans plus spill cleanup kits to their employees. You should be familiar with this cleanup kit and where it is located in each of your departments. The locations are securities, facilities, and the health offices. If you are in one of the aforementioned departments and you do not have a kit, please contact the compliance department and we will make one available.
Spill cleanup and disposal. Always use the appropriate PPE for the job. Follow the directions on the back of the spill kit if you're using one. Be sure to disinfect the area with a germicidal wipe or solution, especially before mopping the floor. Place all contaminated material, including gloves, in the red biohazard bag, being careful to keep the outside of the bag as clean as possible. Seal the bag. Fill out the form attached for tracking purposes and transfer the red bag into a biohazard can, making sure that you don't reach into the can. Once you're done, wash your hands thoroughly and do it as soon as possible. What requires the use of a red biohazard bag? Blood, sharps, unspecified body fluids, or any materials that have come in contact with body fluids. How much requires a red bag? If you have a 4x4 piece of gauze or more that is saturated with blood or body fluids, use a red bag. If you have just a small amount, a small Band-Aid, a tissue with a little bit of blood from a nosebleed, you can use the regular trash.
Preventing exposure. Continued. Always wear PPE, as illustrated before. Additionally, never reach into a red biohazard bag. You don't know what's inside. Henceforth, you don't want to be putting your hand there. Always wash your hands following any exposure to hazardous or potentially hazardous materials with soap and water for at least 30 seconds. Following a biohazard event, cleanup, as well as personal hygiene measures, the next step would be reporting. Anytime a cleanup kit is utilized, the attached form to the kit must be completed and returned to the Department of Compliance for documentation. In addition, always refer to your supervisor as well. Employer responsibilities. Employers must ensure that the SDS sheets are readily accessible to employees for all hazardous chemicals in their workplace. This goes for all employees on all shift. For Atlantic Cape, these materials are available on the compliance website with a link attached. In the SDS binders, along with the SDS binders, you will find Atlantic Cape's Hazard Communication Plan, the Right to Know Survey, which is a list of documented hazardous substances as well as any products that are on campus, as well as the Atlantic Cape Community College Exposure Control Plan. If you are not familiar with the location or how to use the aforementioned materials, please contact your supervisor as well as the Department of Compliance, and we will arrange a training session for you. This especially goes for supervisors who have new hires, and each and every new hire requires training.
If you have any other questions or concerns, please contact the compliance officer, Mary Simpson, at 609-343-5112, by email at msimpson@atlantic.edu, or stop by E106 in the Mays Landing campus. Thank you.